Mad Cow was on the road to superstardom. They had talent, they had fame, and they quickly became the biggest draw on campus of Elizabethtown College. But what goes up must come down. What started as a decision to forge the river alone soon became a nightmare of dismal dysentery dreams on the Oregon Trail as the members of Mad Cow, feeling the pressures of fame, started to crumble. Join me, if you will, to explore what happened to make these cows so mad as we get the whole story and go behind the comedy. The beginning of the year started for Mad Cow with a bang, literally.
The group was really set on using pyrotechnics in their first impression on the front.
Mad Cow did not have permission to use pyrotechnics in their fall show for the freshmen. I mean, that is really irresponsible. I mean, you could have burned the building down. You could have injured somebody in the audience, or even worse, possibly hurt somebody on stage.
If you look at the video close enough, you can almost see a fireball shoot out and hit Chris in the hand. The burns have healed, but it's still hard for him to move his pinky.
After the success of the freshman show, Mad Cow surfed into auditions atop a wave of ego, destroying the hopes and shattering dreams of those wanting to be deemed worthy to adorn a jersey. One such hopeful soul broke the long line of silence held by those who auditioned and spoke with Behind the Comedy.
Walking into auditions, I didn't know what to expect, but what happened I will never forget. I walked in the room and the cows were nowhere to be found. At first I thought it was in the wrong place, but then I saw a piece of paper sitting on the table with two questions. What is your name and are you funny? I did not want to waste their time, so I was truthful.
Thank you for joining us here this evening. It is my honor, on behalf of the Executive Cabinet of Mad Cow, who could not be with us here today for reasons regarding the Hernandez incident, which will be taking questions, to announce the new members for the 2005-2006 year.
Look, to be honest, we just pulled their names out of a hat, but seemed to turn out all right.
You know what? I even like that one kid. He's the one with he's got that thing. Jeez.
Sam?
Yeah, this Sam. I never learned their names.
With the addition of G3, Mad Cow was riding the bullet train to success. But what they didn't expect was for Superman to be standing on the tracks. Coming up, changes in the winds for Mad Cow, but today doesn't smell like chocolate.
All I'm saying is that asking me to shell an entire bag of M&Ms or you won't go on stage is a little ridiculous.
When Behind the Comedy returns. Mad Cow was standing on top of the world, but that world was slowly melting away under their feet from the global warming of the growing friction between the group and other campus representatives.
All of them started to get very demanding, and not just before shows. They'd walk around campus like they owned the place, shouting down hallways during classes, constantly demanding piggyback rides, and I heard a rumor that one of them actually hired personal security.
Yeah, they hired us to follow them around wherever they went, anytime, anywhere, 24/7.
Before shows and during class, one time they called us at 3 o'clock in the morning. When we got there, they said they changed their minds.
I mean,
you and me.
It's too much for one man to take.
Every day together.
It became quite obvious to the outside observer that fame had gone to the heads of the cows, and no EpiPen was strong enough to stop the swelling from the allergic reaction.
Practices went from a forum of ideas about comedy, they were really invested in it, and improv to an arena of angst, with members worrying about what kind of endorsement deals they were going to get more than they were originally invested in the comedy. And I don't know, it was sad, it was a horribly beautiful sight to watch the group eat itself out from the inside.
Yes, my client stopped going to practices.
But Mr. Harper is a very important man with very important things to do for Mr. Harper. Time's money. And my client does not have time to stand around playing games. You get what I'm saying here? All right. Now, he will show up at the correct time. Showtime. Besides, Mr. Harper has a stand-in to stand in for Mr. Harper.
Soon enough, Mad Cow was fighting a civil war which pitted them back to back, belly to belly. But this was no zombie jamboree.
The girls started getting most of the attention from the group, and that didn't set too well for the guys.
The girls were everywhere, magazines, billboards, but what really set the rest of the group off was when they got their own Wednesday at 11 performance. That sparked infighting with the group. They were at each other's throats for weeks, and negotiations to reach an agreement were getting nowhere. Then, the unthinkable happened.
It is a sad day for me and the rest of the people in the world who have been entertained by and love Mad Cow throughout their existence. It is with a heavy heart and deep regret to announce that Mad Cow has disbanded.
In the news today, Mad Cow, premier comedy group, announced
That was the worst day of my life.
members cited irreconcilable differences as the reason for the split.
I didn't know what I was gonna do. I didn't want to eat. I couldn't sleep. Without Mad Cow, my life just felt empty.
Without the group, the members went their separate ways. Some trying to find the same amount of fame with a solo career, some merely trying to find themselves.
Out of everyone, Bob took it the hardest. After the announcement, he packed up and hit the road. No one knew where he was going. I'm not sure Bob knew where he was going. But he needed to get away from it all and find a place where no one knew who he was.
The careers outside the group were mediocre at best. A half-full BLR. Open mic in the Blue Bean, they were not getting the response they had grown accustomed to, and I think they realized that they would never obtain the type of prestige that they were used to without the support of the group behind them.
Some of the members tried to leave the world of comedy altogether. They had their time in the limelight, and they just wanted to get back to their normal lives. It was a tough task, though, for them to lead a private life when the press wouldn't leave them alone.
Coming up, reconciliation, as the cows are reborn and suckle the sweet tea of success one more time.
I actually proposed to my girlfriend in a Mad Cow show, but then I got thrown out for talking.
When Behind the Comedy returns. Mad Cow's ascension to improv greatness was followed by an infamous fall that left members and fans alike confused and disenchanted. But then, the sun rose on the horizon for the future of Mad Cow at the 2006 Golden Globes in early January.
The scene was intense backstage at the Golden Globes because all of the ex-members of Mad Cow were in attendance, and the producers wanted to keep them as far apart as possible. As far apart as possible.
So Dave is over there talking to Jake Gyllenhaal about Brokeback Mountain, and who do they run into in the buffet line? But Chris and Lauren from Mad Cow. There was totally this air about the room. Everybody got really quiet. They haven't spoken to each other since the breakup.
But nothing gets weird. They greet each other like old friends, like nothing ever happened. And once they heard that everyone was at the ceremony, they decided to go to Wilmer Valderrama's posh post-show party together.
It is my privilege to announce that, after a short hiatus, Mad Cow will return to the stage together with all members intact. The reunion shows...
From a couple of college kids with a knack for humor to international superstars that had it all, till the fame became too much and tore the group apart, Mad Cow's ride through life was rocky. No one could have predicted the path they were going to travel to get where they are, but everyone can be sure they're not to their destination quite yet.